Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, I did say we were going to redo these, at least this kind of back part of the glove, and so that's what we're going to do for now. But first, the first thing I want to do though, because I'm noticing this thumb looks kind of weird, I just want to kind of move that back. Maybe rotate the tip a little bit this way. Okay, I like that. Now, I want to redo this because I just don't like it. This is a real simple reason for it. So I'm going to delete that up there, and I'm going to delete this here, and we'll just delete the rest of it. Okay. So now we have we have a bit more to work with. So let's just start by moving some of these verts around so that they're not so weirdly distributed. Okay, and let's probably move that back and scale it down because we want, okay, so we want this part of the thumb to be right here. So let's take that, move it, and let's move this out some. Yeah, there we go. Just gonna increase the size of the thumb a little bit. Just gonna move this down to right here. There we go. Okay, that's better. So now we can extrude out and scale this out. And then extrude it back. And then scale that up. Now we can add a loop in here and scale that back in a little bit and bring it down, but then we can add another loop and scale that back up. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm getting my Maya and my Blender keyboard shortcuts mixed together because in class we're working with good old Maya. In case you can't tell, I have quite a bit of disdain for that program, but that's personal preference. I just think Blender is superior, and well, I think just because something is quote-unquote industry standard does not necessarily mean that that's the best thing to use, but that's, you know, my opinion, and I know I can't really change that. But what I do for the class is I model in Blender. I don't model in Maya because it's just too much of a hassle. I model in Blender, and I'll bring the stuff into Maya. You know, I'll import the file from Blender to Maya. So I'll export the file from Blender and import it into Maya. But that's besides the point. Right now, I'm not really worrying too much about everything. I'm just, you know, matching up the forms here. I think that's something. Okay. Let's just shrink this up a bit. Okay, so this isn't looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. So I'm just going to rotate this just because it needs to be rotated. And so does this also. So because I want this here in the center, because I'm just gonna move this over. So right now this looks a lot better than when we had it, or at least a little bit better. I think we can probably get away with just moving those out a little bit. And just for the sake of realism, I'm going to select these here. So I'm going to select the whole, the whole bit of the fingers and everything except for the thumb. I'm going to select everything except for the thumb. That's about past this first point that I selected. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, there we go. Why? Because I just want to move it down. I feel that the hands are, or at least the surface area for the hand was a bit too short. Now this feels a lot better to me anyway. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Feel a bit better about that now. So yeah. Now you notice I haven't made a structure to this. So when you want to bevel a edge, or not an edge, but a vertex, just Shift Control B. There we go. You can just bevel that right there. You can take this bevel down. And then what you can do, delete the edge, and you could probably Alt-M center and just merge that. Alright, so let's go back to vertex, and we're going to move that there. Okay, so there we go. So we have the separation in our glove. And that's cool, but we have to, so okay, that just worked itself out fairly nicely. So I selected this ring of vertices, and what the purpose of that was we're going to, bevel the edge here. Now technically it's actually supposed to flow up in here, but we can just kind of deselect that and go here and select the parts that it's supposed to flow up to. So, and we're gonna go here and select all of these here. Now, we're going to bevel these also and add an edge loop in there. And then we're going to select the edge loop that we added and make sure any kind of proportional editing is turned off, and we're just going to scale that in a little bit. There we go. So you see here we just made the seams for the glove. Now we're going to have to fix some things because there are definitely going to be some N-gons in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide everything else so we can just look at the glove, and I'm going to turn off the visibility of the mirror modifier just so I can focus on this so that nothing else is in the way. So let's see here. Let's just make sure that every face around this bevel has 4 points. So this has 4. Let's hit whoopsie daisy. Okay, so let's select this. This has 4 faces. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Huh. That actually worked out fairly nicely. Awesome. All right, now let's look up here. See? Now here are the problems. So for these, they separated into 5 faces. So let's see what we can do to fix this. So if these are 5, we can delete this edge, extrude one up here, face, face, and we still have our thing here. So But however, we still run into the problem of that. Okay. So then we can just get our knife tool and cut up to here, the center point. Don't worry about matching it to an edge, because in this particular case you don't need to, because of what we just did earlier. So now all of these should have 4, 4, 4, see here, 4, 4, and 4. Awesome. Yeah. So be mindful, always be mindful and aware of whether or not you have n-gons, because n-gons are the enemy. And we do not let the enemy into our camps. Now do we? No. Anyway, so that problem's fixed. And so now we can just add an edge loop to sharpen this up. And another thing we can probably do, well, no, not probably do. One thing we're going to need to do is select all of these now. And so what we're going to do, we're going to go through and we're going to select these here. All right. We're going to E for extrude, and we're going to scale them in. Now, I'm going, now that we have this, we're going to select all these again, except go in here and deselect these, and these as well, these two, because we're going to extrude these down and scale them inward, because we're going to seal this up here. So I'm going to add this edge loop, and let's bring it up here close to the top. Select this edge here and hit F again. Same thing for over here, F again. And we're closing this up because it'll be easier on us when we connect it back with the hand. And so the last thing we're going to do to seal this up is extrude that vertex out. Come on. And bam. And select these two. Bam. Now, perfect. So we're going to hit W, loop tools, circle. Again, if you don't have loop tools enabled, you should hit Control Alt U, and you'll open up your user preferences here. You go to your add-ons, type in loop, and you'll have mesh loop tools there. Just click the checkbox and save user settings. Now that you have loop tools enabled, go ahead and hit W, loop tools, and make that a circle, in case you didn't already do that, or if you didn't already have that enabled. Now let's hit Alt H to unhide, and let's see how many faces we have. So we have 6 verts here, and we have 10 verts here. And let's make sure that our gloves insides are not peeking through the arm. Okay, so if we have 10 verts here and 6 verts here, we have to get rid of 4 verts for the hands, for the gloves. So select these two, edge slide them up, hit F. Now we have 8, and then select these two, edge slide those up. Now we have 6. Or we should have 6. Yes, we have 6. So again, hit W, circle, just to fix that up, and then we can select our hand, or our actual arm here, and hit Control E, bridge edge loops, and then there we go. So let's turn that back on. So now our hands are really complete. How long have I been recording? I've been recording for 14 minutes, so I'm gonna get started on another part of the accessories, and then we'll move on to another part, because I know it's been a few days since I made a tutorial for this, but I had a funeral to go to over the weekend, so I apologize. We're going to extrude this belt here, so just E, extrude, right click, Alt S to scale, add an edge loop, whoops, edge loop here, edge loop here. And let's just bevel this, why not? And then we'll add an edge loop here. And then an edge loop here. And then we'll add one here. All right, so we're not going to keep a lot of these accessories separate from the mesh simply because, well, we kind of don't have to. And not necessarily, not even kind of, we just don't have to. I found that you can keep a lot of things on the mesh and still have a very, very nice looking mesh. It doesn't require a lot of modifying, especially with a character like this. You know, he's not too high in detail anyway, so there's not really a need to separate a bunch of objects when you're just going to be rigging the same character. So now let's start with these. I'll start with these here. So what I did for these is I moved this up here. All right, get the vertex, moving on the x-axis. I really try to constrain these here to an axis just so that I have better control. I'm just gonna flatten these out and move these up. You should totally flatten out these edges if they're not flat already. And the way to do that is, so if I select this one here, the y-axis in Blender is going from is going from front and back. The x-axis is going left to right, and the z-axis is going up and down. So if I want to scale this, and if I want to flatten this out, I would hit SX for the x-axis and then 0. If I wanted to straighten out something for the top, I would hit SZ and then 0. So just keep that in mind when you're going through. And so we'll bring these up here. Okay, so then I just take these two and extrude them. But before I do, I'm gonna make sure that these are kind of on a similar field. So let's just take all of these here. S, this is when you would use the Y, and then 0. And you can edge slide this back a little bit. So let's keep everything smooth. So now we have that. We can go here. E for extrude, extrude that out. There we go. And so you crease that, crease that, you crease that, and then you crease this. So now, how do you crease these edges here? Well, you bevel them. You're just going to have to go back through and again clean up some n-gons. But just select these edges here and bevel them. Okay. So these n-gons can be fixed very easily in this case. So you can select this point here, and then you can select this point here, and it'll be like a continuous edge loop. If you just hit J, you'll automatically connect those points, and you see we kind of eliminated some artifacts that we had going on over here. And so you see it here too. And so what you can do is you can select this edge here and subdivide it, and then you can bevel this vertex. So now there's two of them. Remember, beveling vertices or vertices is Shift Control B, and then you can select this one here, and then you can select this one here and hit J. And again, we're eliminating those artifacts. Not F. Don't hit F. Hit J. There is a difference. But you see, artifacts eliminated. So just do that for the rest of these. So select this one here and select this one here. Hit J. Artifacts gone. So this one here. So just select this edge here. Subdivide it. and then go back to vertex mode, select both of those, hit J, artifacts gone. We have a few more to fix. So go here, select this one, J. Select this edge and subdivide it, and then select. Okay, go back to vertex mode and select these 2 points here and hit J. And now with that, you can kind of move, you can edge slide these away, and it'll still, you know, your creases will still be there, but they don't have to be so close. Not H. There we go. Yeah, they don't have to be so close to the edge there. These extra bevels that we did. You can give these some space. Okay. Now, the only other artifacts we have to fix are within the detail itself. So select those two, hit J, artifacts gone. Select these two, hit J, artifacts gone. And there you go. That's good, that's good. So let's see how long I've been recording for now. 24 minutes. Okay, I'll go a bit longer. What else do we need to do? We'll do this piece. This piece shouldn't take too long. We're gonna do a shoulder piece here. So, what you can do, go to a new layer. Hit Shift S, go to click cursor to center, Shift A, and let's make a plane. Tab into edit mode, subdivide the plane up top, hit G and Z, bring this plane up, Control B, bevel it. There you go. Now bring these points up, make sure proportional editing is turned on, and we're just going to bring this up a little bit. In fact, no, we're going to select the whole thing, hit period so that our cursor is in the where the our pivot point is, and we're going to scale this on the Z-axis, about right here. And then we're going to take these edges here, we're going to scale those on the X-axis. There we go. Just gave it a bit more of a round shape. Select this back part here. I'm just gonna, actually we can select the whole thing, scale it on the Y-axis. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to completely flatten both sides of this. So let's select this. Let's see, Control comma SX 0, just to flatten that out. All right, and same thing for over here. SX 0. We flatten those out because there's a bit of detail that's going to go there that we need this side to be, we need this to be flat. So we're going to split this here, and I should probably bevel it to give it some space. And we'll add some edge loops here, and we'll add an edge loop here. Now we're going to add an edge loop in here, and then we're going to add one in here, and what we're going to do is we're going to select these vertices, scale these on the Y-axis, and then we're going to select both of these faces, I for inset. We're going to bring those in a little bit, and now we're going to go back to our loop tools and make a circle. So now these are circles. Perfect. So we have the layout of our shape here. We haven't made it any, extrusions or anything, but we will now. So E for extrude, right click, turn off proportional editing, Alt S to scale. All right, so now our armor has some thickness. Now I'm gonna extrude these bits of detail that run along this top part here of the armor. Okay, E for extrude, Alt S to scale. Scale those up a little bit, but not too much. Just enough so that you can tell that there's something there. All right. So now that we have that, what we can now do with these is select both of these, hit E for extrude, right click, SX, scale those out a little bit. All right, so now we have that part. And let's change this to smooth shading, smooth. And let's put a subdivision surface on here, because now we're going to go through the process of sharpening everything up. It's the same thing as before. Just go here, sharpen these edges. Scale these up. Not scale, but add a edge loop in there. I'm gonna add an edge loop in here, and we're gonna add an edge loop in here. Okay, now we're gonna want to put an edge loop here and another edge loop here. And we're going to select just these parts of the edge here. We don't want to select the entire edge because we're trying to do something very specific to one of these edges. We don't want it to affect the edge all around. Forgive me. All right, here we go. Let's get in there. There we go. Okay, wait. Oh no. Crap baskets. I have to go back and select all that again. I'll probably speed past this. There we go. Alright, so now I just want to add slide these, or maybe take this part too. But the idea is to edge slide these closer so that they sharpen up those edges a lot more. Like so. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to speed past it because I'm already past my time for recording because I had to fix that issue with my glove, but okay. Boom. And one more thing. Boom. Boom. And now let's move these edges away. It's pinching up the geometry, and we don't want that. Let's go to vertex and SY these away from each other. Okay, so now another thing we can do is just okay, so if the edge loop doesn't work because the edge loops run a weird way, what you can do is just select the bottom of whatever surface you're trying to flatten and extrude it one more time, but very subtly, and that'll kind of create a very similar situation where you're in a sense adding an edge loop but just doing it with a different method. So E for extrude, Z to move it, or not Z, but you know, just move it down a little bit. I hit Z to lock it on the Z axis. But there you go. You see, that kind of flattened that out. And so now with this, you know, you could just come in here and kind of flatten these out too. So, now I just have to fix some of this pinching. Let's see what's going on here. How would I fix this pinching issue? Because there's a lot of... Alright, well, let's start with this. Let's just actually straight up delete these faces. Sometimes you have to work with what you got, and sometimes you have to restart, and that's okay. When this is over, the tutorial will be finished. I'm sorry, this is a long one, but well, I mean, hey, at least you're learning something, right? All right, so okay, so what if I just bevel this, and let's try to make faces this way. That's interesting. Okay, so let's not bevel that, because there's... no, totally bevel it. Okay, so let's think about how this will work. Boom, boom, boom. Is that pinching still there though? And it is. I'm trying to fix this pinching issue. You know what? I'll just fill these for now because the tutorial is long enough, and we'll come back in the next one and fix this pinching issue. I'm gonna figure this out. But for now, this is our shoulder armor piece. That's where we're leaving off. So, and what we're gonna do with this, just so I can show you, so you know, I'm not leaving you hanging. What you can do is duplicate this with Shift D, and move this to this layer, or the front layer, or the first layer. Tab into edit mode, select everything, G to grab, rotate it around the Z axis. I would put in actual numbers, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Not it don't matter. I can say whatever the heck I want. Anyway, and just put it here, scale it down, scale it back up. Okay, there we go. It looks nice. But yeah, but you can set it right there, and that is the shoulder armor piece. And then you can mirror it, and there you go. He's starting to come together. So that'll be it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more modeling tutorials, and I will see you all tomorrow with the next one. Have a good one.